Hey, Jay, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Was it an attraction to Florida State to know what your dad had done here and his legacy here, or was it something that concerned you at all? You know, just sometimes guys don't want to be in the shadow of their famous father.
I feel like for me it was like I always loved Florida State. I grew up around it, so obviously I was every game while I was little. So it's kind of been like a dream, come play here. So like in my opinion, like why not continue that legacy that he had here? Obviously he was a great player, and now it's like my time to like fill out my back. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Brendan, on your left.
Can you walk us through when you found out you had the opportunity to play here, like, how that was presented to you, which coaches told you, just what that meant to you when you found out where you were, I guess?
Can you like?
So like when you found out that you were offered to play here, I guess, when did that occur?
So it was on Christmas Day. Coach Norvell called me, and he's told me that he wanted me to play for him, and I was like, of course, like this is always where I wanted to be, and just having an opportunity, I was forever grateful for it. Now that I'm here, it's just a blessing. Go back to Ira.
Seen some people mention that you put on some size, maybe later in your high school career. Kind of where are you at now? Where were you? And do you think that's been beneficial in terms of getting this opportunity?
I put on at the end of my senior year, I was about like 170, and then I graduated high school. I finished all my high school classes, but I didn't like enroll anywhere. So I just kind of went with my dad and like trained like throughout probably April, and I got to like 183, and then ever since I've been here, I got to like 188. So I put on some size, and I feel like the most important part about putting on size is being able to like move. Because if I can't move with that size, there's no point putting it on. So just being able to move with it has been like my biggest thing, and I feel pretty comfortable with it. So just like gaining it like naturally and make sure I feel good with the weight is probably what's most important to me. And I trust my nutrition staff, Miss Jaden, with like everything. So I know they're putting the weight right. So just trusting them and then seeing how I feel.
Peter here in the second row.
So Antonio, is there like a going into the 3-3-5 scheme though? Is there like a position that you see yourself playing? Are you going to focus on playing corner, or are you going to look at another position in secondary?
I feel like I can play anywhere in our secondary. I feel like that's the case for all of our guys in the room. But just playing 3-5 gives us so many chances to just be us, like be ball players. I feel like especially at safety, it just gives us an opportunity to play free, and make an opportunity to make plays. So that's probably what I'm most excited for at either position.
Brendan? You were high school teammates with Shamar, right?
Yeah.
What can you say about him? We got to see him a little bit in the spring, just personality-wise and playing style. What stands out about Shamar?
He's a ball player. That's my guy. Since I was 9 years old. So he's been my dog since day one. So just have an opportunity to play with him like I did last year. It's a great feeling because I'm gonna get him right, and then he can get me right whenever chance comes. Like he actually just texted me and asked me if I wanted to go watch film. So just having that, and having that relationship here, just makes the transition a lot easier, in my opinion.
I was actually going to ask you about him too. And he when we talked to him, I think it was after you signed, he was kind of hyping you up.
Yeah.
Not many high school teams have one guy that goes to Florida State, but have two in the same secondary. Like, what was that like? And just, I know you guys have a really good team, but like, what was that like playing with another guy and like some of the guys you had in that defense?
That defense was definitely special. Just being in that secondary with a bunch of those guys, and like to me, the biggest part was nobody had an ego. Nobody thought like they were bigger than the other. We all just came together and like got to work. And, I feel like that's the biggest part with me and Duty. Like we get to work, make plays on the field. So that's just how it went.
waiting for this offer for such a long time, and for it to finally kind of come real for you, I mean, can you kind of talk about your mindset right now? Is it a sense of relief, or is it you want to prove to everybody that you do belong, that you're capable of being an impact player here at some point?
No relief. I came here for a reason. You know, I came here to make plays on the field. You know what I mean? And so, you know, whenever I get my opportunity, you know, I'm gonna make the plays that I can. So, you know, right now, just put my head down, work, learn from the older guys. You know, learn the defense, learn the college speed of the game. And so, I feel like I've been adjusting pretty well to that. And so, you know, just whenever my time comes, start making plays. And, you know, but for right now, just put my head down, working. That's pretty much.
Not only, you know, was your dad a great player, but he also has done plenty of coaching.
Yep.
What is he like as a dad in terms of, is he, every time you play, is he breaking down your film, is he giving you advice, or is he letting you do your own thing? How's he handle it?
He kind of just lets me go, kind of. That's kind of like how my siblings, like, how he's kind of approaching this. He kind of just lets us go. He's not like shadowing like our every move. Like when I was out there, you know, I wasn't just with him training. So, I feel like he like does a good job of like being like coach and then like dad, like that makes sense. And like, I love him to death, you know, and he's always like giving me pointers, giving me like stuff like I can do better when he like gets a chance to, and you know, just like get me better as a player, you know. Yeah.
Do two more, add one.
What's sort of like the competitive level, the competitive energy that these player run practices, and or can you maybe talk about some of the receivers, DBs you're seeing out there making plays that are impressive?
Yeah, definitely. My boy Javen Boggs, he's been making plays on offense, you know, and you know my dog Jeremiah, they're always out there making plays. We're always competing. We compete every day. It's kind of fun going out there, compete with all the guys, you know, Deuce, my dog Eli, Lorraine, you know, just all them guys on offense, you know, it just makes us better as a secondary. And you know, Shaheem out there, Edwin, Braille, you know, we got a bunch of dogs out here, so we got a bunch of dogs out there making plays against each other, turns to a fun little practice. So.
Peter?
Antonio, being that you're a legacy player, or how people will view you as a legacy player, how much do you really embrace that, or how do you approach it when people label you as a legacy player and want to live up to the expectation that your dad, being that what your dad was, and wanting to continue to live on to that?
You know, I embrace it with wholeheartedly. You know, I kind of love being a legacy kid. You know, and I kind of try to get more legacy kids here because I feel like it's a great opportunity to like continue that. You know what I mean? You know, I feel like that's my biggest thing is continuing that legacy of greatness. You know, and to be on that path of being a great DB or greater DB than he was. You know, he always tells me he wants me to be better than he ever was. And so that's like my goal to strive greater than he ever was. So.
Go to Brendan for the last one.
You mentioned Jeremiah, I'm not sure if you heard his interview, a ton of energy right before you were here. Is that always kind of the case with him? Does he play like that, practice like that
Yeah,
too?
he's high energy every day. He's a kind of, he reminds me a little like Coach Norvell. Like he's high energy every day. It doesn't change either. Like I call him a pro because that's what he does. He's a pro in everything he does. And he calls me a pro because he sees a little bit of himself like in me. So, you know, just having that relationship with him, having that older guy, so I look up to, and, you know, having that energy every day with him, you know, just makes both of us better.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good, good, good.
Thanks,
Thanks, man.
Thank you.